Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. In this video we are reviewing the second day of this fourth test match in England and India. Let's get into this review video. I couldn't put out a video reviewing the proceedings that took place on day one, but starting off with the playing 11s, England as usual they announced the 11 beforehand, and for India I said Kuldeep Yadav should play ahead of Shardul Thakur. Now Shardul Thakur scored 41 in this first innings and I don't think you could have expected more from him. And in that case, India have got to, I think, a good score in the first innings, 358. Would you rather Kuldeep as a bowler who can be offensive and defensive, and especially at this venue, I've said many times in the preview that on days 4 and day 5, the spinners will start getting into the game more. India have got two defensive spinners, Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja. In overseas conditions, are they going to win you a match with the ball? I don't think so. Is Shardul Thakur compared to Kuldeep Yadav, especially in these conditions, as I said, when the spinners will come into the game more, is Shardul Thakur going to win you a game with a ball? You don't know. Is he going to win you a game with a bat? His contributions can be handy, but will that outweigh what he does with the ball, especially if you don't give him much bowling? I don't think it would. In this case, he's bowled 5 overs and he's gone for 35 runs. Out of 46 overs, he's only bowled 5. And Washington Sundar did not bowl a ball. I don't understand what they was thinking, because you saw in the T20I series in India, Ben Duckett looks at reverse sweep a lot. He tried to do that today, and he was dismissed off of Washington Sundar trying to reverse sweep. And I thought that they should have introduced him. I don't understand why they didn't. And this has been said elsewhere, and only one channel has mentioned this on YouTube. I've not heard anyone mention this, and this is not something that's my knowledge, it's something that I heard from that channel. However, this venue is not a venue where you'll see many wickets fall with a new ball, and we saw that in India's innings where the openers put on 100 runs, I think, for the first wicket. Scoring wasn't quick, but you saw the wickets didn't fall with a new ball. Then the moment the old ball came into play, then you saw a few wickets falling. And when England took the second new ball, Jadeja was dismissed in the first over of the day. And then afterwards, you saw Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur were able to stitch a partnership. In this case, India, the bowlers did not bowl well, but once again, with a new ball, wickets did not fall. So it's something that they should have caught hold of, and they should have adjusted their tactics. They didn't do so. They didn't bowl too well. They bowled quite full, and Zach Crawley was driving a lot of the time, and they also bowled short. And I won't criticize someone like Anshul Kamboj too much, because I've seen him bowl in the second England Lions match, or against England Lions, where I think he picked up 2 or 3 wickets just before that match is called off at the end. He's got a big run up. He's highly skilled. And if you can take 10 wickets in an innings bowling in India, then as a seamer, then you've definitely got talent. Unfortunately, he couldn't adjust today, but as I said, this is a technical point, which I don't think would have been discussed based on what we saw today. And I thought England made the same mistake that India made with their team selection, because I'd said Brydon Cast, instead of him, I would have picked Sam Cook. In the previous match, especially in the last day when it was very difficult to bat, they'd positioned 2 catching fielders close on the leg side, and he either bowled too far down the leg side or he bowled drive over deliveries in the offside. And in this case, out of all the England bowlers, he was the one that I thought didn't really bowl too well. Liam Dawson, I've mentioned him before. I wasn't surprised the way he bowled. You saw the way he dismissed Jaiswal. Instead of Brydon Cast, I would have brought in Sam Cook, because he can bowl fuller lengths, and especially after the new ball, you could have had another containing seam with Sam Cook bowling for lengths, because in this team, you've got 11 players who can bat. So what is the impact that Brydon Cast's batting is going to make on England winning this match? I don't think it will make any impact. So this is what I thought they erred in their team selection in that case, but I wasn't surprised they selected him. And for India, from their point of view, they've got to make sure England don't get 200 runs more than what they have now. Otherwise, I think it'd be very difficult to win the match, especially with Rishabh Pant injured. He returned and scored 15 runs, but it's not looking feasible in my view for him to return the second innings. We'll have to see how that goes, certainly for the next match. And on England's bowling, I've said quite a few times now that best bowler is Ben Stokes, because you saw in this case with the new ball wickets don't fall. People said Jofra Archer would really do a lot in the previous match and this match. And you saw in both cases he picked up a wicket. After that, had a quiet period. Chris Woakes is a containing bowler. Brydon Cast has not been bowling well, and especially with the old ball, if you've got Ben Stokes bowling the way he has been, that was what brought England back into this match. I will mention again, you've got Jofra Archer 26.1, Ben Stokes 24. It's looking quite difficult for India to win this match based on what I've seen with the way they've been bowling. However, if they do get back into this match with the first session tomorrow, then going into the last match, how will the workloads of Archer and Ben Stokes play into things you don't know? That is a point in question. However, for India's case, they've got to make sure England don't get 200 more runs than they do now, as it will be difficult for them to. Let's see what happens. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share with friends. Remember, it's my opinion, not yours.